What is up, folks? This is Aircast, and welcome back to Infinity Minecraft. Alright, so we're running out of power. We've just drained this one. We're starting to drain this one. So, granted, this isn't a ton of power storage, but it hasn't really been running that long, so we need to up our power storage. Now, what is the easiest way for us to do that? Well, we're going to build extra utilities. And actually, I think I could probably access it a little bit easier by just saying generator. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so there's our redstone one. Where is the lava one? There we go, lava generator. Alright, so there are different tiers of generators for each of these. We've got the survivalist, which is super duper duper efficient. And you saw me use that in the TolkienCraft pack. Actually, you've probably seen me use it several places. You've got the furnace generator, which works just like a normal furnace. You've got the lava generator, which works like these magmatic dynamos behind me. We've got ender generators, which are actually really awesome, but I don't have a good ender pearl farm set up, so that's not really an option. Heated redstone generators, exactly what you think it is. Runs off redstone. Culinary runs off food. Potions runs off potions, which actually I use that in the TolkienCraft pack too. Whenever you just get random potions from chests and stuff, it can actually be pretty useful just to toss them in there if you don't, plan on using them. And it gives you a quick burst of energy that you can store up for later. Solar generator. This one actually is... I use that in TolkienCraft as well. It's actually really useful, but it only works, of course, for half the day. And you've got to set it up so that it turns off when it's full, because it doesn't have input and output at the same time. It either stores energy or runs energy somewhere else. So you can't just have it on all the time. You've got to turn it on until it is, full, and then turn it off to export all that energy and then turn it back on again. And of course you have to work with the day-night cycle as well. TNT generator, you actually will get hurt if you're running this. So it does make explosions, so be careful. Pink generator, I think that was probably made for Ari, Aurelian. Yeah, it was probably for Aurelian, because if it was for Jaded Cat, then it would be purple. High temperature furnace generator. I think it runs basically like your normal furnace generator, but it's a little less efficient, but quicker, right? So I think that's how that one works. Could be wrong on that one, but this one's actually one of the best ones, the Nether Star generator. But talk about expensive. You're running nether stars for power, and it does hurt if you stand near it as well. And this one's constant damage. Survivalist generator, we talked about that one. But this is the 8 times. So we've got, like I said, 3 tiers. We've got the 1 times, we've got the 8 times, and we've got the 64 times. And it works exactly like you would think. It runs 8 times as fast, etc., etc. But you need transfer nodes for it, and of course you need 8 of the lower tier to get to the higher tier. So this is something you really want to have crafting set up for, because I've made these by hand before, and it's not fun. And of course these take 8 of the tier below them, so that's how that works. We are going to go with the lava generator. Now this is going to take a lot of gold. It's going to take some iron and furnace. So how fortunate is it that we have, oh hey, we have a quarry. Um, but I might need... How are we doing on gold? I don't think we're doing that great on gold, are we? No, we've got 242 there. Of course, we got some ingots and some ore berries and a little bit of ore, but not really that much. So let's see what we can do, or how many we can make. So let's go over here. We've only got 4 of these at the moment, which is unfortunate. So let's go ahead and do blank. All right, let's go and make, say, another 10 of them. That should be fine. Isn't that so nice? It just does it for you. Say, hey, these are what I want. It gives it to you. Now, we're starting to run out of room on this guy. As you can see here, there's not many spaces left. It's getting kind of cramped. Stuff is blending together. Like, I like to assemble these guys. Yeah, I just said that. I like to assemble these guys in a way that it's mod specific. So if it's vanilla stuff, I've got wood and chests and, you know, pistons and all that. If it's, you know, applied logistics, I like to have it in a separate section. That's probably just my OCD. But I think it makes for a much neater, cleaner experience. And it makes it so much easier to tell what you have and what you don't have as far as patterns go. But we'll let it jumble together a little bit for the moment anyway. I'll probably do this off camera. I've actually set up everything in here. I don't think I have set up the molecular assembler, but I've set up everything else. So I've got smart cables and I've got interfaces and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and set up, where to go? Lava generator. So we need, what else? We need a furnace. We need to make that pattern as well, because of course lots of things take furnaces to make. So I don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and set it up so that it will make it for us. Okay. You always want to have the lower tier stuff set up in blank patterns, because whenever you're making a very complicated piece, you want the system to go ahead and make the less complicated pieces for you, so that you don't have to keep a stack of, you know, 64 furnaces in here all the time just waiting for you to use them. So it saves space, and of course it's very much convenient. Alright, so actually we do need to go ahead and make a furnace. Let's just go ahead and do that. I should have done that before, but we need a furnace to do this pattern. Alright, so we've got that. And actually we're going to need to make one of those to get the next one. So let's go ahead and put these in here. That's fine. Let's go ahead and make one of these. And I'll go ahead and toss it in there. So from here, we need to make a transfer node. Well, this takes the QED. I don't think there's any other way to make it. So we're going to make a bunch of these guys, and then we'll put it in there. But, okay, that transfer node items. What is it that we need in here? Did we need the liquid one? Oh, energy. Okay. All right. Duh. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this pattern as well. Okay, what do we need? It's going to be the same thing for any of these. I clicked on this one. So we need a block of redstone. So, and we need a chest. Let's go ahead and put this in here. Seems silly. Obviously, it's easy to make, but same thing with the redstone or the furnace. We just need to have it in there. Oh, actually, I dropped that pattern in there, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and clear that. And we need a chest as well. Next. Start. Probably could have been faster if I just made the chest myself, but whatever. Alright, so we'll go back here and here. And we need to do this. Alright, this is the easiest one. The transfer pipe is the easiest to make. So we'll go and use that. We've got another encoded pattern. From the base of all this stuff, I need to be able to make transfer pipes as well. So let's go ahead and do a pattern for those, even though we have some. Hold on transfer pipes. There we go. But now, see how this can actually, it's not complicated, but you can start to get overwhelmed with the number of patterns you need. Because, oh, now I need to know how to make stone slabs. You know, so it can really get out of hand how many of these guys, how many patterns you need. But once you have it set up, man, is it nice. Alright, so I need to make stone slabs. Like, well, that's easy. Alright, so we're seriously running out of room, so I'm going to go ahead and put together some more of these guys because, yeah, we don't have any room. We're full. All of these guys are full. Yeah, look at that. Alright, so I will see you guys in just a second. Alrighty, folks. So I've got these set up here. It actually started causing power problems. So I had to reroute some of my flux ducts. So it wasn't that big of a deal. I just, beforehand, I had kind of a lazy setup, honestly. These were closer, so I had them coming off right here. But when these start draining, they start sucking up a lot of the power. So they ended up taking more power going this way, which drained all these, and so they weren't providing enough power going that way. But after rerouting the power along this line, it ended up not being a problem. But I do have 2 more of those molecular assemblers set up, so that should be plenty for now. We've got a decent amount of space here. We don't have a ton. Sorry about that. But we have a decent amount. I'll set up more later. I've actually got 4 more of these things made. I just need to go ahead and make the interfaces and all that kind of stuff too. Alright, so what do we need to do now? Alright, so we have the encoded patterns of these 2 and that. So let's go ahead and continue on from there. Okay, so we'll type in generator. That seemed to be the best one. I could, of course, type in the full name, but whatever. Alright, so what else do we need from here? We've got this, and we've got that and that, but okay, we needed the slabs for this one, so it should be able to make everything that goes along in here. Actually, you know what? I think this pattern is going to do me better because I'm going to need a lot of redstone for a ton of other things, and I do actually have a decent number of ender pearls. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do this and replace. Where is it? Right here. I'm going to replace that one with this one, and that also gives us 4 of these guys as opposed to the 1 that this one gives. Do you shift right click this guy too? Yes, you do. Okay, good. I was pretty sure, but I wasn't positive. Alright, so that should be everything we need to make this. But we need to be able to set up a QED. I've got a QED up where I had everything before, so I can do all of this manually. But we need to start doing stuff like this too. So let me go ahead and do these patterns. That way it's just easier to get there from here. I'll do this manually probably for a little while, and then I'll set up some automation that ends up crafting these by themselves, which is going to be nice. So I need to set up that. Okay, so we've got some... Why didn't... Oh, because I don't actually have redstone blocks, do I? Alright, so let's go ahead and just make some. Do I not have a crafting table around here? Alright, that's all I need to make. Okay, so I should be able to... Oh, why is it not... Alright, so if I go ahead and encode this... I can put you up here. Okay. So if I go ahead and encode that, do I need to... I think I need to actually make some of these. to get the next step. Can I? Yeah, I need to make some first. Alright, so what were they called? I should have looked and seen. Alright, speed. Okay, so if I just craft one, it's going to give me 4, which is fine. Okay, so if I do like that... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I didn't realize dragging it would actually overwrite some of the other spaces. Okay, so if I do this, let's go ahead and make that. And actually I should... No, actually I don't have the redstone in there to make it straight up. So let's go like this and put you right there. Okay. Now that will get us one more level up. Let's go ahead and put this here. I shouldn't need all that many. Let's go ahead and do, what are they called? Upgrades? Yeah. Up. So if I go ahead and make one of those, we'll be fine. But let's go ahead and make one of these. Start. Okay, and then like that. I'm not sure quite why it acted the way it just did. Because if it didn't fill in the left two, it shouldn't have filled in any of them. So that was really weird. But you guys get the gist of what was going on there. As much as I do anyway. Alright, so transfer nodes. Alright, so we should be able to make all of this stuff by itself. But from there, we're going to need to go upstairs to get the QED making the transfer node by itself. I'm going to do that a couple times. That way we have enough of these guys to actually do some work. And then I'll be back in a second. Also need to do some redstone because I'm running kind of low. But anyway, I'll see you in a second. Alrighty, folks. So I've got 4 of these. So that should let us make at least 4 of these generators. But also, as you can tell, I need to have more of the other stuff. I've actually got my quarry turned off at the moment because I can't handle it at the moment. I started taking out of my third let's say battery. Which is basically what it is, right? But my third... Oh my gosh. My brain is like... What is it? Energy cell. How hard is that? I don't know. Anyway. So let's go ahead and make a pattern for this guy. Simple enough. Don't need to make anything for that one. Okay, and I'll put you right here. So if I stick these in here, I should be able to do gen and 1, 2, 3, 4, next, and start. And if we go over here, which this shouldn't take very long, but as you can see, it's working on it. So I'm just trying to look at all the different things that are going on here. Yeah, it's done. Nice, huh? I ended up replacing... I wanted to have separate ones of these for when I make different patterns at the same time. I'm working on, say, something really big for this one. Say I need octuple compressed cobblestone. Well, that's going to take a long time. So I've got that running on this one. And then I've got, you know, some smaller things running at the same time. So I went ahead and moved one of the processors over here, and I made 2 new coprocessing units for that, and then just replaced where this was originally with another coprocessing unit. So that's all I did with that. I don't think I ever actually talked about it. Let's see. So I've got my generators in here. And I would like to replace all of them, of course, with the 64 one, but in the meantime, replacing it with the 8 would actually go a long way towards getting me to where I need to go. Alright, so let's go ahead and get rid of 1, 2, 3, and I can go ahead and get rid of a 4th here. Let's go and put you down, and you down, you down, and you down. Alright, and these will run exactly like these magmatic dynamos did. Where did my 4th magmatic dynamo go? Hello? Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. I figured you fell in somewhere, but wasn't sure where. Alright, so that should help us produce a lot more energy. Yeah, a lot quicker. That is a huge increase of energy. I wish I had actually shown you guys beforehand. Actually, I can. I'm just going to waste some lava. Why are you not... Oh, because these guys actually need to be claimed with a pick. Alright, so I'll put these back down. You can see the numbers on the right hand side are actually counting up by thousands. Now when we switched over, they started counting up by 10,000s. So yeah, these are much better. And actually I kind of want to place them like this with the gold showing out. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, it still is counting up by thousands, but it's so much quicker. It's ridiculous. So this should be filled up, I won't say in no time, but pretty soon. And I'll work on replacing more of these guys, or more of the dynamos with these. That's going to help us out a ton. I really want to get my main storage system going. That's going to be up there. I'm going to put the Draconic Energy version. Actually, it might be kind of cool to have it down there, but that'd take a lot of flux ducts. I'm having a hard time remembering the new name of it, but I'd take quite a few of those. There we go. Alright, so I'm not sure where I'm going to put that. It's probably going to be up here, though, right? I mean, I guess I could put it right here, but we'll see. I've actually started making some of the next tier of flux ducts, too. The resonant ducts. The flux ducts, the redstone ones that I'm using, transfer 8,000 per tick, and these, the resonant ones transfer 32,000 per tick. So, quite a bit more powerful, 4 times more powerful, but I don't need those quite yet, but I wanted to go ahead and prepare and set up where I want my energy coming from. I'm eventually going to move these guys. I'm going to make sure that I can pump, pretty much unlimited amounts of energy into and out of my main storage. So, and my frame rate dropped again. But I'm going to do a little bit more work, and then I will be back with you guys. Alrighty folks, so I've made a bit of progress as far as my generators go. I've actually got 2 of these really big ones. It's not maxing, it's close to maxing out on energy. And I've gone ahead and put these resonance flux ducts on here. I don't necessarily need them at the moment. Actually, I probably need them to be up here, and I changed this, by the way, just to use fewer of the ducts. Is it actually using fewer? 1, 2, 3 versus 2. Yeah, it's using 1 fewer, or 2 fewer. But yeah, I've got these all hooked up. It's completely draining my lava whenever I actually had to charge everything up. But now that it's like a more steady supply of energy that it's giving off, it doesn't. So, because of course it's using a lot less lava. But these actually hold a good amount of energy. They hold 6,400,000 RF just in their buffer, which is a decent amount. It's not, what do these hold? They're 80 million. Okay. It does like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. Where should the commas go? Alright, but yeah. So, these guys actually hold a good amount of energy themselves, which is nice. Because that allows for a lot of backup power for when these guys get drained. I'm currently debating whether I want to make another set of 3 of these, just to have the power there, because it does drain pretty darn quickly. And I imagine now that I've hooked these guys up, it's probably going to be pretty close to needing to move my lava pump, but we'll see about that. I haven't checked it in a while, but last time I did check it, it was quite a while after we'd placed it, but it had barely, I mean, I don't think even, filled up one chunk. The lava's pretty deep, I think, where we have it set up, so it seems that's the case anyway. Alright, so there's a couple things that I wanted to do. For now, I've moved this in here. It's going to be over in that room over there eventually, once I have everything sorted out. But I wanted to move this here for now because I don't have enough wool to set up a bunch of these dense cables. I barely got enough. Actually, I don't think I have enough to make many more smart cables. I started just using normal ME glass cables because, well, I just don't have wool production at the moment, which I need to get set up. I'm thinking about putting them, or I'm definitely going to put them down there, have a bunch of little farms set up down there, but I'm probably going to do that within the next episode or so, because I need some wool. Another choice that we have is to set them up in there for now, and that's definitely a possibility. Because I've already got the area set up, and it's not going to be much different than these little containment units here. I'm just going to have, a bunch of sheep in here, and then have one of Mine Factory Reloaded's shearer thingies. What are those called? Let me take a look and see actually what it takes to make one of those, because I don't think they're that expensive. So... Mine, well, oh, okay, of course I can't just do mine because, well, Minecraft. But, let's see, steam turbines, okay, there's so many of these little things, it'll be hard to, alright, these things are really, really gross. Think about your worst nightmares about McDonald's. Or maybe the McDonald's that was. They've gotten a little bit better with their food in recent years than they used to be, say when I was a kid. They actually have decent food in there. But yeah, there's the slaughterhouse produces liquid meat, and you put it in the meat packer here, and it makes bricks of meat that you can cook. Gross, isn't it? Oh. I mean, some of you might be okay with it, but I'm not. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's the Rancher? I'm not sure. The Chronotyper is really, really awesome, and we'll use that in the future, but I'm excited to share that for you guys, because that's actually one of my favorite things. It's really simple, but it's really cool. Let's just take a look at the Rancher. 10 gears, just a basic machine frame. Shears. Yeah, really basic. It's not expensive at all. If that's actually what we need, I'm going to have to look at the MFR page to figure out exactly which one it is. I think it might be the Rancher, but I'm just not positive on that. But that's something I want to set up really soon. And of course, we'll use the MFR Pokeballs. The Safari Nets to go ahead and capture sheep and bring them here. You can also use the golden lassos, not lassos, lassos, to bring them here, but I'll just use the little Pokeballs. Now, the one thing that I want to work on at the moment is setting up this guy to automatically work with our auto crafting. to do that, I need to make, let's go ahead and do applied in, and get, we need an interface. I'm just bringing that up just in case I need it. And I just need one of these. So go ahead and do next, start. It should be real quick. Yeah, it's already done. Okay, and say this should work out just fine. It's actually, this part's not that complicated, but it's a little more complicated to get your brain around. I think this will probably be the shortest. I can't do that. I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah, I know I could have made it, you know, crooked, but even if it is a mess of wiring over there, I'd like it to be semi-straight. It's just me. Okay, so is there any telling? Okay, good. So this is set up to tile extra utilities in constructor, which is this. Now that's not what it's named as far as we can see. And I love the QED, the different names that it just like pops up with. I think that was brilliant. Basically, I don't know what it means, but you know, it could mean all of these things because I don't know. I just think it's fun. But it'll tell you in here, these are set up to the molecular assembler. Now it's a little harder to tell that that's actually what that's saying, just because all of these were hooked up originally. But if you hook them up to different blocks, it'll say what it is. Now, we may have a hard time remembering at some point that this is what this is, but you can actually set up patterns to make the stuff. Alright, so this is the lava generator that we had set up in the other room, which we have in there. Now, I would love to be able to just click on that and say, I want to make one. You know, but right now I can't. Because it takes several different things that are constructed by our QED. Like these, transfer nodes, energy nodes. You need a QED to make this. You also need to do the hyper energy nodes in there with that. So I made 2 bedrockium to get those 2 that I've got in the other room. Which, thank goodness, I didn't have to do by hand because I have done those by hand before, and it is extremely miserable. Like, my hands were hurting, my wrists were hurting. So, don't do that. Please don't do that, because you can actually injure yourself doing that. But this awesome system over here, we don't have to worry about that. Alright, so, what do we need to make over there? So, we need... Oh, it's okay. I was like, that looks different. What is that for? We just need this pattern right here. So we need to say that 4 of these transfer nodes, 4 golden ingots, and a breadth first search upgrade will come out with that. Alright, so what I'm going to do, we need gold, not bronze. It actually took a lot of gold to make those things, so make sure you're prepared for that. And actually, I'll just show you how much gold it takes. So, oops. Alright, Gen. Alright, so 320 just to make these things, or just make one of these. So 640 gold for the 2 of them, which is quite a lot. Alright, so we also need one of these. Alright, so it's going to make 3 of them, but that's fine. And we're going to need some nodes, and I'll just type in node. And this also, it's going to make 4. Much faster though. And you don't need all 4 of them to make that, by the way. You can see how it's not taking up any at all, so if we just do one of these guys, see, you can put as many on there as you want. So that's a nice thing, because say you're doing something that's really high level, and actually we're gonna have to make one of these in the other, aren't we, just to get the output. So I'll show you real quick. What do we need? We need our gold, and we need but say you have like really expensive components in here and you don't want to make them all by hand, as long as you make one of them, you can put them, you know, as many as you want in there, which is really nice. To continue the comment that I completely stopped on, but let's go ahead and make one of these. Oh, actually, we didn't bring these. All right, so let's just go like that. Now, this does take up stuff, unfortunately. But I made a few more of these pylons as well. Well, they used to be. I think there were once called pylons. But anyway, I did have 2. And so it works much, much quicker now. More quickly. However you want to say it. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to need a bedrockium ingot to go ahead and make the second stage and have everything crafted in here. Takes quite a bit of cobble, but we've got quite a bit. Yeah, it takes, you know, 30,000 to make them. 9 diamond, which actually isn't that big of a deal now. I've got quite a few. Oh, they're right there in the bottom right hand corner. 287 diamonds. So that's going to be much, much better than floating, you know, floating 60 to 0 back and forth constantly. I actually turned that guy over there on too. So he's automatically making the engineering processors, which is nice. All right. So let's go ahead and put this here. Oh, it's not showing up. All right, so what we do, actually, I've already made some blanks. So I'm going to put those in there. We go and put that there, and we can say what the output is, which is a big part of what this does. So highly recommend you use this because we have our encoded pattern now. So what we do is, well, I can do it in here, but I'm going to show you physically what we're doing, just because it makes a little bit more sense if you're trying to learn. At least for me it does. So put that guy right there, and then actually I should be able to come up here and make one. So we have this one that's in our inventory, but there aren't any in here. So craft, and this should, all right, we've got all the things that we need in here. This should, in a moment, put the materials in here. Are you not working? Or are you not working? I don't think I've actually used one with the QED before. I have used them with other stuff, though. Huh. Okay, so we've got stored each of the parts, and it's not wanting to put it out. Alright, so I'll be back with you guys in just a second, and we'll see what's going on here. Okay, folks, so I couldn't actually end up getting to work. I don't know that the integration is there for these. I seem to think that Tima at one point said something about not wanting there to be integration between auto-crafting with the AE2 specifically, but auto-crafting in general, and the QED, but I don't know if that's for sure or not, because if that is true, then I think that was like a couple of years ago, or at least a year ago. I don't know. Oh, whoops, forgot I was in creative. Yeah, anyway, that happened. So the way that it's supposed to work, so you can use it with things like furnaces to say, hey, I want, where's the iron? There it is. Hey, I want a piece of iron. Start. And that will toss it in here and it'll smelt up. Thought I had some coal in there, but apparently not. But yeah, and you can actually set it up for the coal to go in there too. But well, yeah, it's easy to say. It's well, a lot easier when you're working with like electric furnaces and stuff because it provides its own power. But you'll get that out of it. So the way that it's supposed to work with crafting is like this. I've set up a build craft assembly table to show you what's supposed to happen. So let's say we've got that selected. So we want to have a chipset. Let's just say we want to have 10 chipsets. Oh, hey, look at that. it tosses it right in there and it starts crafting. Now that's what was supposed to happen with this one. Yes, with a hole in the ground. But for some reason the QED isn't working like that. And yes, this is a super lazy way to do this, but I just didn't want to get any cables out. Yeah, I even had one in my inventory. I was just like, yeah, I'll just put these down. But yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. That's not how it ended up working. There may be some nuance that I'm missing there, but I don't know. I don't know that it's ever worked. I thought it did at one time, but then I remembered that he might have said that, and like I said, it might. I don't know. But anyway, so I guess we're going to have to do this part by hand. And if you're wondering what... Oh, hey, it looks much better. Radius equals 25. It's upside down on the mini-map. That's why I was pointed that out. But yeah, anyway. So, I think that's going to be it for today. And next time, we'll probably work on the sheep problem. Because I need some wool. Badly. Very, very badly. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the episode. And until next time, hope you have a wonderful day.